I just want to play Overcooked. Let's do it. Let's play this game. If you're gonna start playing Overcooked, I think that the biggest tip that I can give new players is to just, if you need to, just throw all of your food on the floor. You should. You really should throw all your food. Don't be afraid. In this game, there are no penalties for throwing your food on the ground. I think that would be the best starting tip, though. If you don't already do so, then using the floor is what's going to take your gameplay to the next level. Most people, when they're cooking, they only put their food on the counters. But that thought process is actually very limiting, because then you're eventually constrained by your counter space. You're going to run out. You're going to run out of counter space. But think about the fact that a counter is essentially just a flat surface where you put your food. Counters are only valuable because they're flat. And you know what's also flat? The floor. The floor is actually just a counter that we stand on. See, this is the problem when we have objects that are defined by how we use them. I mean, what makes a counter? Because we put food on it, right? So if I choose to put my food on the floor, then guess what I just made? A table. Yeah, I said table. That's because the floor is both counter and table. And what? You're gonna tell me the floor doesn't count as a table? Why? Because the floor doesn't have legs? Think about this before you do it. Are you really going to argue that a table requires legs? Because that's wrong. See, that's wrong because we don't define things by the number of legs that they have. That's just rude. What if I didn't have any legs? I mean, you don't know. I mean, for all you know. And if you took away my legs, would I stop being human? Am I no longer human just because I didn't have any legs? Let's say I'm eating a chicken and I decide to eat the legs of the chicken first. I finish eating the legs, then I throw the legs away. Now, I want you to imagine the rest of the meal that I was eating. The part that I haven't eaten yet, what do we call that? That would still be a chicken, right? It's got no leg, but it's a chicken. I mean, take an octopus that's even named after the number of legs. I mean the arm. I mean, it's got 8 of those things, okay? It's got 8 of them. But the point is, even if you took one of those things away, that would still be an octopus. No one's gonna argue with you on that one. You didn't make a new creature. That's not a new creature. It's not a septopus. That's just an octopus that's missing a thing, which is why the floor is just as good as any table. I mean, think about it. Buying a table from a store is actually a ripoff. Because when you think about it, what they're really doing is just selling you a piece of floor that they attach legs